everyone, my name is Patti Dolan and I am a demonstrator under Wendy. I've been a demonstrator for about 4 years now. I live in Florida and I'm from New York. I've been in Florida for about 6 years. I grew up in New York, raised my family in New York, and then moved down here. I go back and forth quite a bit because my kids and my grandkids are up there. So I actually do road trips where I drive up with my craft room packed and stay for a couple of months. So, but now I'm back in Florida. I just came back after the holidays. I love being a demonstrator. I started after my husband passed away very suddenly, and then I retired from my job and I tried to figure out what I wanted to do. And I had been stamping, buying products, and I decided to be a demonstrator. And I had been buying from Wendy, and I love being on her team. What a blessing it is to be with her and all of her teammates. I really enjoy it. It fills my time. I started out as a demonstrator just to buy the, get the discount, and then I decided I wanted to run it as a business. So I do have a YouTube channel, and I'm on Pinterest, and I have a blog and all that good stuff. So you could find me at pspapercrafts.com if you were interested in checking out my stuff. I'm kind of a clean and simple girl. Sometimes I get a little bit more complicated, but basically clean and simple. So I'm gonna just turn you around and show you the card that I'm gonna make with the designer series paper. So here's a card that I made. I love this design. I use it all the time. It's very simple, and you can use, your designer series paper. I find designer series paper is one of my favorite products from Stampin' Up. I love it. And it's very easy to pull a quick card together. So this is one that I made using the Hydrangea Hill, and it has really pretty papers. And then I want to make the same style card, and I'll be using, this is a celebration package of paper, and Flower and Field Designer Series paper. So this I just love. I love flowers, and so I'm going to use kind of this design, maybe a little bit different sentiment and different layout, or not layout, different sentiment label. So my go-to for labels is Stitch So Sweetly. So I use these two for this with some Seaside Spray. And this one I'm going to stamp my sentiment just on one of these, and I will not be backing it. It'll just be on the white. So I already cut that out. Let's pull this aside. And I have my pieces cut. So these pieces are the same size just because they're reverse. Otherwise, I would have cut this down a little bit more. So you can actually cut it down. And actually, it probably would have been a good idea to cut it down because I'm using this piece on the inside now that I'm thinking about it. So if you wanted to cut this down, this is 2 3/4. Where are we? 2 3/4. And you could probably cut this down to, let's see, about 2. Because what I do is I put it on a piece of white, and then I just overlap them. So there's a lot of extra here. So I would say 2 3/4 by about 2, and then that will give you your inside piece. I hope that makes sense. And I like to back it on a piece like this, so that I can have it all the right size before I put it on my layer. And I'm going to quick cut this down actually while we're talking so I could save this piece. So I have my trimmer, and on this other card there were 2 completely different pieces of paper, so I did cut it down. So I'm going to cut this down to 2. And then the width is 5 1/4. So it's 2 by 5 1/4, and that should work out perfectly with this without wasting too much paper. You could even cut it down further if you wanted to. So we've got that done. And what I'll do now is I'll adhere this one down first, the underneath, and then we're going to overlap, and then at the seam we'll put a ribbon. So again, this is one style or design that I use all the time. I think I have a little ridge there, so I'm going to put it that way. So we'll put this right up, and you can use any old cardstock for this. because you're not going to see it to lay it on. I'm using a piece of Whisper White, but you can use, if you have something old that you're not going to use anymore. And we'll just put this down over it. And you could adjust these sizes if you wanted to have it, you know, the top a little bit longer, the bottom a little bit shorter, whatever you like. Okay. And then I'm going to use this Bumblebee ribbon. So this color down here is Bumblebee. So we'll put some Bumblebee ribbon on it, and I always just cut it a little bit longer. And I like to put it down with Scotch tape. So we'll get this end, and we'll just get a piece of Scotch tape. I used to use other adhesives, and I just find this to be quick and easy, and it works. So we'll put that down, come across, wrap it around, and put that down. Okay. And if you wanted to put a glue dot or something here, you can, but I'm not going to. And then I have, you can layer this on black, you can layer it on the Bumblebee. I'm doing both. So this black piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it just gives you the tiniest little border here. And I like that look. So you don't have to do that extra layer if you don't want to, if you were to make a card like that. I did not do it on this card. So this is your normal 5 1/4 by 4 with just the one layer. So I kind of go back and forth with that, and it depends on the colors I'm using, which way I decide I'm going to go with it. So after you put your ribbon down, now you can put it down. It's very hard to see because it's black on black here. But again, it's just a tiny, tiny edge, and I'll put it on the yellow, you can see it. Okay, and then we'll just put this down. Just get up there a little bit, and we'll put this down. Okay, and then let's do our sentiment. I'm doing that in black memento, and my sentiment I'm using is from this. This is one of the new sets. It's called Happy Thoughts, and I really like it. So this one I did Thinking of You, and then on the inside I have just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way, and this stamp is from the Hydrangea Hill stamp set. And on this one I'm doing happy birthday, and then today is great because it's all about you, the great person you are and the great things you do. So I thought that was fun. So I'm using black memento ink, and I have it already mounted. And I have it upside down, so we want to make sure it's not upside down. And I like to use a grid just to get it all nice and straight. Let's hope it's nice and straight anyway. That looks good. And let's do the inside as well while I'm stamping. And this is a big stamp, so I like to ink it up this way. And make sure it's the right way. I usually do it on scrap paper first, just to make sure. Okay, I like that sentiment. It's fun. So now I'll just put this strip, and you could do it either side. You could do the polka dots, or you could do the flowers. I thought the flowers were a little chopped off, so I'm doing the polka dots. So let's put that down. Or you could stamp something if you had like a flower you wanted to stamp, or leaves or something like that. But I thought, why not use the designer series paper? Looks like it's hanging over a little bit, so I'm just going to snip that. They're not always cut exactly the same. I don't know if you have that problem, but sometimes we're off a little bit. And I like to cut from behind. So that's the inside, and let's put that in, and then we can put our sentiment on. And I will tie a bow on this one. I didn't tie a bow, but I used pearls on that. I used these new pastel pearls. They're really pretty. They're with the Hydrangea set. But on this one, I thought that one, we'll go back and forth here. That one is hard to tie a bow with that ribbon. It's a little bit stiff, so I didn't want to do it. On this one, this ribbon's nice and soft. So there you go. Let's get this on with some dimensionals, and then we'll do our ribbon and put that on with a glue dot. So I hope you guys are having fun at the paper party. Wendy does some awesome things there, so I think it's great that she's doing this, and I was so happy to participate in it. One of these days I'll participate as a not as a demonstrator but someone who actually gets to play along with you guys. So let's put that here. You can put some pearls on it if you wanted. I'm just going to tie the bow, and I like to tie it on the spool. So this is the Bumblebee Gingham ribbon, which I think is pretty. At first I thought it might be too busy because of this, but I don't think it is. There is a solid Bumblebee ribbon as well. So, and the other thing is you can always color like a plain ribbon with any color you want with the Stampin' Blends, which is really awesome because then you really can get the color, the exact color you're looking for. So I do that a lot. You can color gems, rhinestones, ribbon, and it's because it's alcohol based. So you can't do it with your Stampin' Write markers, but you can definitely do it with your Stampin' Blends. It might be a little long. I always have a hard time with my tails. I cut one, and then I feel like they're never even, and I keep cutting, and I get myself into trouble. So we're going to stop now. So let's do a little glue dot, and I'll just put one right back here and put this on. So I think it's cute, right? I think they're both cute. I hope you try this. It's good with stripes, or just kind of like a plain pattern with then a floral or, you know, a design on top. So these are the two, and I hope you enjoyed this and have fun at your paper party. Thanks. Bye.